It is Thursday, July 10th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. And SP3, it's officially all in. Saturday night's main event, AEW Evolution, and WWE Evolution. Everybody's evolving.
AEW Evolve. I didn't know AEW was running more than one show. This is news. Big, huge breaking news to kick off the show.
That show's on Saturday because All In's on Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you missed that, let me get my bid off here. SP3.
Two night All In.
It's a 2-night Evolution. There's AEW Evolution on Saturday, WWE Evolution on Sunday, because AEW All In is on Sunday. It's too early, is what it is. SP3, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. Me and Jeremy are back at it once again, and I can debunk any of the ridiculousness that Joel Pearl had to say yesterday. Because yes, it's a Thursday, and it's one of those Thursdays where I start off with a rant about Joel Pearl. Because I got a rant. I took a shot at him on True Hill Heat, so I got to take a shot at him here where he'll see me and I can say it to his face as he's watching while drinking a coffee or sending his kids to school, and I can tell him, "You're out of your ever-loving mind." This man was out here saying JC Jane had a fantastic match one time in TNA. Where he couldn't tell us who the opponent was. So it must have not been that fantastic, Joel. You don't remember who she faced. When Hangman and Ospreay, one of the matches of the year, it was just good. It was just fine. And then the audacity. And this is where I gotta call my boy out. I gotta call you out too, because you're supposed to be the referee here. You're supposed to be the authority of good taste when you're on the show with Joe Pearl. I'm it when we're on together, but you gotta be it when you're on the show with Joe Pearl. And you let him get away with praising that ridiculous and awful acting of Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. This put women's wrestling back about 15, 20 years. It was ridiculous. It was basically WWE telling you that girls with muscles can't be glamorous girls, even though Jordan Grace was in a gym in high fashion leggings and a sports bra and had all her makeup did and her hair done to the point that they made a joke at the end of the awful segment. Oh, I don't even look that much different. No, you don't, because you're already glamorous. Awful WWE, awful backstage out of set segment. It sucked. It was a step back from everything that Mariah May has done before. It was a step back for Jordan Grace. It wasn't acted well. It was supposed to be funny. I didn't laugh not once. Awful. So I'm disappointed in you. I expect this from Joel. I'm as disappointed in you for not correcting him.
In fairness to me, I don't listen to what Joel says.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really.
You know what? I could have gave you the benefit of the doubt because it was one of those points of the show where Joe's just talking for a while and you just like kind of no sell him and then he has to move on to something else. No, fair enough. You know what? I take back my argument against him. You're fine.
Joel was trying to talk about NXT yesterday. The NXT talk was after the Blake Christian interview. I was done after the Blake. We peaked at that point. We had nothing left to talk about after that. So I'll defend myself in that regard.
Fair. You know what? I take it back. You know, Jeremy is not on trial here. He beat the allegations with that one argument. He beat the allegations.
Joel has to hype up these TNA matches. You know that. He's got to make these TNA matches sound better than they actually are. So I give him a little bit of a pass calling this JC Jane match that no one remembers a good match.
No, he said fantastic.
Whatever he said. Again, I don't listen to him. I don't know what he said.
said fantastic. I was like, what are you even talking about?
Here's some news that will, I'm sure, not take people the wrong way. WWE and Maybelline New York, the #1 cosmetic brand in the world, announced today a new partnership in which the beauty brand will become the first ever official cosmetics partner of WWE. The new agreement commences with Maybelline serving as the presenting partner for Evolution, the all-women's premium live event on Sunday, July 13th at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. WWE is excited to collaborate with Maybelline, a partner that not only leads the beauty industry but also shares our vision for highlighting amazing individuals across the roster, said the Senior Vice President of Partnership Marketing for TKO. There you go. Maybelline and WWE. Maybe it's
Maybe
Maybelline.
she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Is that the tagline? She's born with it? I only remember maybe it's Maybelline.
Nah, it's maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, folks. Maybelline and Evolution. Can't wait for more Mariah May and Jordan Grace segments as they're selling Maybelline products to everybody.
It sucked. It was so bad. And I'm glad that I got confirmation that it was so bad because I actually talked to females, unlike Xeno Hour. So like, and the females that watch the show,
top weed.
The females that watch the show were just like, yeah, this was insulting to me as a female. So like, you got to understand. Maybe you like awful wrestling, but maybe like you should look at it outside of yourself and understand how bad it was in terms of how they view women in professional wrestling and realize that this segment sucked. It was not well acted, and it took women's wrestling back a peg because they told you that women with muscles can't be glamorous, apparently, that they need glamour exercise as well. The messaging, the inner message that they were telling you as well. You have to realize that. Now I reference the top weed because he said, tell Jeremy, tell SB3 my offer for a truce is over. First of all, I wasn't even going to acknowledge your truce. I saw it in the chat yesterday. Mind you, I did not comment on that because I don't care about no truce. We don't have a truce. You're my enemy. Regardless, you could win the XP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You could win the SP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You could win the G1. You could win the C2. Still Lakers in 5. I don't care.
I don't know about Lakers in 5. If Xenoar wins the C2, that would actually be pretty impressive. Are you a worker, Xenoar? Can you bump? Can you do any move? I mean, you can throw a punch. Doesn't have to be a working punch or not. Let's get Xeno Hour in the C2. I think the winner, if you win the XP1 multiple times, you should be a free entrant into the C2. That's my pitch for Ring of Hallucinations. We're going to get our commenters on ROH TV. Let's get them all beat up. It'll be fun. And Xeno Hour doesn't have anything. He doesn't know if he can work or not. Do a flat back bump. Xeno Hour. Send in a video of you doing a
flat back, bro. He should have never told me that he communicates by being mean to each other. So now I'm just gonna be mean to you all the way. That's why you're my enemy. There's no such thing as a truce. Once you're my enemy, you're my enemy.
But now is that good for him? Like that, because he thinks you communicate by being mean to each other. So if you're mean to him, he's like, oh, SP3 is having good communication with him. You know what I mean?
So I gotta be nice to him? No, we can't do that. We can't do that. Can't do that. Come on, man.
You know, it's like the old playground. It's like, oh, the girl's mean to you. That means she likes you. Right?
Nah, I'm not a girl in first grade.
I mean, I agree. but this show is very first grade-ish, and
This is true.
you know,
This is true. Joe Pearl liked that segment on NXT. That's what a first grader would tell me. I agree. Look at all the pretty colors. There's pretty girls. They was funny. I laughed.
it was an NXT segment. That's what it was. It was an NXT segment.
JC Jane took a flat back bump. 5 stars.
No NXT segment is actually that good, but they're all hilarious, and I enjoy them. That's where I'm at on every single NXT segment.
If it doesn't involve Jasper Troy, I don't care.
The culling with their backstage and they're like sitting down, but then like Nico Vance is like over the shoulder and everything. It's hilarious.
I don't know if you know this, but I hate the culling.
I know you do. That's why I brought it up. Tatum Paxley's like all excited. Izzy Dame looks like she's so out of place in this groove. It's so funny. None of it's good, but it's all hilarious to me. From PW Insider, singer and actor Jelly Roll has been training to make his WWE in-ring debut and will do so at SummerSlam. Jelly Roll will be on Friday Night SmackDown to kick off the storyline, which we are told will see him aligned with a top babyface ahead of SummerSlam. Well, there you go. Jelly Roll performed at last year's SummerSlam, and he chokeslammed Austin Theory. I was there for that.
So what? He's gonna align with like Randy Orton or something?
Chi-Town Spurs sends a super chat. Says, what are the chances Jelly Roll is pinning Carmelo Hayes at SummerSlam?
It's Jelly Roll and Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes and The Miz.
If they had any continuity, it'll probably be Damian Priest, honestly. But shouldn't it be R-Truth? He was in the segment last year with R-Truth and Miz.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're trying to do with R-Truth, because he told us he wasn't R-Truth anymore. He was Ron Killings, yet they're still advertising him as R-Truth because they don't care. And from week to week, I don't know if they're trying to turn him heel or not. Same thing with Aleister Black, who he's feuding with.
Well, no man is ever truly good, and no man is ever truly evil.
Evo!
We'll see how Jelly Roll does. Because the chokeslam was good last year, but let's be honest about chokeslam. Like, Austin Theory just had to jump really high, and Jelly Roll just had to do that, and he did that very well. And Austin Theory took it very well. But that was all on Austin Theory doing that move. We'll see how Jelly Roll does.
I need Jelly Roll to work with Sam Stackhouse. Sam Stackhouse could teach him how to like sell. And he's like, they're kind of similar size. Sam Stackhouse is a good worker, so that he could teach him a thing or two. But if he's not getting taught by Sam Stackhouse and he's getting taught by, I don't know, whoever's in the PC, I'm not too sure how this is going to work out.
I'm trying to think, like, who's like a big dude in the PC. They don't really have those kind of people anymore.
They don't have those people who are like the teachers, at least. I know Norman Smiley. He's good. He's a good teacher, but Robbie Brookside, he's a good teacher, but I don't know. Finley?
I think it should be R-Truth. I don't think it will be, because it seems like, I don't know what they're doing with R-Truth, honestly. What they're doing is they're trying to make sure that he doesn't get the reactions that he got for a week, and they're just done with him at this point. So we'll see with Jelly Roll and who he ends up aligning with on SmackDown. It's going to be funny when it's like Randy Orton. This is their big plan for Randy Orton at SummerSlam, is teaming up with Jelly Roll.
That would be awesome.
Randy Orton. You think Jelly Roll can do an RKO?
I think he could pull it off.
Yeah.
I think he watches enough. At least he's a wrestling fan. He's another one that's a wrestling fan.
Oh yeah,
so
he's
I think
a big
he's
fan.
gonna be.
Yeah.
He's gonna be committed into getting it right and doing something with it. I just I'm kind of numb at this point to the celebrity involvement. I think Travis Scott is when it jumped the shark.
Fiend. Doing that in the main event of WrestleMania was so hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And then Travis Scott didn't even come back. He's like, yeah, I helped John Cena, and now I'm done. Not even going to return. He got his comeuppance. He took the crossroads. That was fine. Yeah, that ruled.
Should be awesome. Yeah, I'm just numb to it. We got Logan Paul, who's been regressing ever since his first year. But like, yeah, he's a part of this celebrity movement in WWE where I'm just kind of numb to it. Why can't everybody be like Big Boom AJ, who picks and chooses his spots?
So, all right, I should probably mention this. Thumbs up on the video, everybody. We're 16 minutes in. We actually started with wrestling talk today, which is terrible. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. Send a super chat like Chi-Town Spurs did. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. All that fun stuff, everybody. Big Boom AJ. I saw that video. One, it ruled. He's the greatest.
I watched it. I watched every minute of it.
But I watched it. I wasn't watching the video. I was listening to it. I had it on and I was like, oh, it's a Big Boom AJ video. Am I going to have to write about this? And yes, I did have to write about this. I want to make sure I get his wording correct here because I can't do it justice. So he says, I'm coming to take down the Don Callis family. It doesn't matter if you send Trent Beretta, Josh Alexander.
I know what part you're going for.
If you send Lance Archer, if you send Hera Shero, and I'm listening to this. Again, I'm not watching it.
Hera Shero.
I'm listening to this. And I'm like, he's naming Don. Who is Hera Shero? Who's he talking about here? And then I went back and rewatched it, and I saw, oh, it's Hechicero. That's who he's talking about. Hera Shero.
Hera Shero. I was watching it, so I saw who he was referring to. But I was like, who? How did you get that one that wrong? There's no R after E. So how did you get her?
Poor Big Boom.
Shero.
Poor Big. This was such a great promo too because he not only calls out the Don Callis family. He's like, yeah, my guys Swerve and Ospreay, they're gonna beat the Young Bucks. We're gonna close the night with Hangman Page winning the title. Like he's putting over all the baby faces in this promo.
And Omega, he's gonna win it all. He made sure to not say Kazuchika Okada because he would have bought that.
Yeah, he would have.
He was like, I know my mistake from before. Keep going, keep it going. The best thing you can do if you mess up in a promo is not acknowledge it. That's what Mercedes should have done last night. She should have just went on Sunday. Yes, I said it.
I was so confused listening to this, and he says Hera Shero. Like, who is this? Who's he talking about? But what a promo, man. I've said it many times. I will say it once again. Big Boom's one of the best promos in the game. If you don't think so, you don't understand what a wrestling promo is supposed to be. Paul London, who's done many wrestling promos on our show, who's been in many different states on our show, Paul London will remind you, promo means promotion. Nobody promotes like Big Boom AJ.
No.
That man gets everything in. He does it in a timely manner. It's like a 2-minute video. 2 minutes. That's it. He gets everything in. Yeah. He not only promotes his match, he promotes other matches. He promotes other baby faces. He tells you who, he tells you where, he tells you when, he tells you why. He's fantastic. He's one of the best promos in wrestling. 100%. One of the best promos in wrestling. Can't wait for Big Boom, Big Justice, and Big Riz to beat the shit out of the Don Callis family and Hera Shero on Saturday.
Hera Shero. I don't care if it's Hera, Cheryl, or anybody. I'm coming through with the boom for you. This is the boom. Oh man,
That song
he's
sucks,
awesome.
but I
It's
love Big
awesome.
Boom.
It's awesome. What are you talking about?
It's so
Top
catchy,
10.
but
Top
man,
10
I get
song.
annoyed by it.
I want the boom. It's good for you. You want the boom, man. That's what we do. This is the boom. Yeah, I'm with it. I love it. It's gonna be a great weekend where I get to hear that theme song. I get to hear Nikki Bella's theme song. All the great themes in wrestling today.
I'm glad Big Boom AJ is gonna be there. Put him on the main show, not this. Who's he gonna team with? Because, I mean, as much as I think Big Boom should just stack all the members of the Don Callis family, they're probably not gonna do that. So he's got to team with somebody. We getting Orange Cassidy back? Is he good to go for this weekend? I hope so. Love Orange Cassidy.
Or no, maybe you're talking about the Big Boom conglomeration.
Yeah.
So,
well, Mark Briscoe's not going to be on his team this month.
Yeah, he's busy. He's busy this weekend.
Yeah. So maybe we get Orange Cassidy returning. I would of course love that. Who else? Oh, Roderick and Kyle. Okay. Right.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could see Roddy and Kyle getting in there. Oh, I hope he does show up to help Hanger. That'd be great. Imagine.
He makes the run in. We just hear we hit the boom.
Yeah.
And then he leads the charge. He leads all the Avengers. He's Cap. He's Cap. He's like, I could do this all day. Boom.
That's how Hangman wins. Is they confront Moxley, and after everybody runs in, Young Bucks run in, Swerve and Ospreay run in, Yuta, Ops, Claudio, maybe Hook returns. I don't know. All these people run in, right? And then it's down to Moxley and Big Boom, and they're standing in the ring, and Big Boom goes, boom! And Moxley's just taken aback. He's like, oh, shit. He just stumbles backwards on that. And AJ hits him again with the boom! And Moxley stumbles back again. And AJ looks around. He's like, oh, what do I got to do? And AJ steps aside. And behind him is the big Riz. And the Riz just rizzes up. And Moxley goes down. And Hangman pins him. 1, 2. What's the Texas Death you can pin, right?
Huh?
Can you pin in the Texas Death match?
No, it's by either knockout or submission.
All right, fine. He gets knocked out.
Remember, last week was your great prediction of the schoolboy submission.
Yeah, the schoolboy submission. Yeah. All right. So Riz is up. Moxley, and Moxley just falls down face first. And the referee, he waves it off. Right? And Hangman's won. But then Moxley turns over, and it's not John Moxley. It's Gabe Kidd. And then here comes Jack Perry to stab Hangman in the face with a spike. And then John Moxley retains the AEW World Championship.
This is like back in like the mid 2010s when you used to see these different videos and all of them would end with Rick rolls. This is what you have the wrestling prediction version of a Rick roll. You have the wrestling prediction version of meatspin.com. That's what
What a website that was. What a website. That's what's gonna happen. I'm steadfast in my belief that John Moxley should win and Jack Perry should return to help him. John Moxley won last night.
Let's not manifest this. You're trying to manifest this. It's too much.
I'm trying to manifest a lot of things. Tony's blocked me though.
I literally have to do shows back to back today. Not even an hour separation. I have to go from you to Jimmy Macaram, where you are just having so much fun in booking and predicting the most awful angles possible. And then I'm with the most miserable man in wrestling YouTube for then another 2 hours where he's whinging and complaining about a show that he at the end gives it like 7.5 or 8. It's like I've never heard somebody so miserable for a show that he will define as good.
I'm just having fun here, SP3. You know, I think all of these are great ideas. I think they should be implemented, and if they aren't, I'll complain loudly online that Jack Perry didn't return. What are we doing? Why? Why can't we do good booking for once, Toni? Jon Moxley did win last night. He choked out Katsuyori Shibata. Kind of stood tall. I'm going to jump around a little bit here because I know this was a multi-person segment here.
Yeah.
Kind of stood tall at the end with him and Hangman Page after he tried to murder Hangman Page by putting a plastic bag over his head before Swerve showed up in a forklift backstage, or in the parking lot, not backstage, in a forklift, or in a, what do you call those things?
Tractor?
Is it a tractor?
I think it's a forklift.
No, it's not a forklift. No, it's not a forklift. It's a somebody with.
It's a tractor.
I don't know if it's a tractor. It's got an actual name. It's a digger.
I thought it was
it's like a hoe digger.
A digger. And Swerve was Stone Cold Steve Austin ahead of Backlash 2000, where he cuts the promo and then he destroys the heel's car.
Was that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the SmackDown before Backlash 2000.
Yeah.
When Austin destroyed the DX Express.
I was disappointed that like Austin wasn't there live. Like it was just like the backstage segment. People were saying it's an excavator. So there you go.
Excavator.
I knew there was like a word for it. Swerve shows up in the parking lot and destroys the Bucks limo. We'll talk about that in a second. But after that, more brawling between the Ops and the Death Riders. And it ends with Claudio cutting off Hangman from the buckshot on Moxley. But then Hangman wiping out Claudio. And then Hangman gets a chain and he's wrapping it. And Moxley's just like standing there. And then Marina Shafir pushes him out of the ring. And I guess Hangman stands tall. There's an awkward little ending there. Like, why don't you go over there and punch him, Moxley? What are you just going to stand there for? And then when Hangman, he's just standing there. It's like, why aren't you punching him? What is happening?
They wanted minimal interaction, physical interaction between Hangman and Moxley. We got little to none, really, in the matchup, and then in the post match here, they're trying to save the big, the big moment with Hangman hitting the buckshot, stuff like that for Saturday. I was gonna say Sunday for Saturday. So I understand what they were going for. I think that this final segment could have been hotter, but I thought it was nice, chaotic fun. Because you got them where it looks like the heels are going to stand tall at the end of the show because they have the numbers advantage with Gabe Kidd and Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir getting involved and attacking Ospreay and Hangman. They had the chain at first, and it looked like Moxley was going to hang Hangman in a callback to their Texas Death Match, which finally got acknowledged. My big nitpick from last week, they addressed it this week. Then they pull out the plastic bags. Another thing that I brought up last week with you, Jeremy, was why didn't Moxley bring up how this whole angle started, which is the plastic bags, and they brought that out. So I suspect that to be used in the Texas Death Match. So they brought out the plastic bags. It looked like the Bucks were going to suffocate Ospreay and Hangman until Swerve inadvertently, he did save Ospreay, but he also saved Hangman, which I thought was a nice little thing there. And I like the promo he cut, that he was like, there was someone who once told me that there's a thin line between hate and success, between peace and peace and tranquility, and he was like, but I realized that or peace and hatred, or peace or whatever, and he says, but I realized that they're one and the same, and that sometimes you got to have one to get to the other. So he's like, now I'm gonna embrace it, and he destroys the car, the Bucks limo, which was set up last week when they got the limo on Tony Khan's credit card, when they were in their hometown, and they showed up to the building this week with the founding fathers limo. So he destroyed it with the excavator, and the Bucks were so upset, so distraught, they had to watch the whole scene instead of running out to the parking lot immediately. So they ran and left. So the baby faces started fighting back now that the numbers were kind of in their advantage, and they got the better of the Death Riders, who left through the crowd. And then the Bucks, where Nick Jackson had the line of the night. Well, second line of the night, because Okada probably had the line of the night, but second line of the night. How will we financially recover from this? Popped me so much. Nana distracted them, and then Swerve hit the Swerve Stomp off another kind of vehicle of some sorts, and did the Swerve Stomp on the Bucks onto concrete. Dude, you're like 3 days away from the biggest show in one of the biggest shows in company history. Let's not break your ankles on concrete, please. But he was able to do that. Then he met up with Ospreay at the end. So as Hangman and the Ops were in the ring, you had Swerve and Ospreay kind of embracing and celebrating with them getting the better of the Bucks on the entranceway. They gave a fist bump to each other while staring at Hangman, who looked kind of upset that he had to get the help of Swerve to get the one up on Mox and the Death Riders here. So that hatred is still there, despite him being so focused on Moxley and his redemption arc and winning the All Elite Wrestling Men's Championship. He still has that hatred for Swerve that he had to end the night staring at him. So I like how they've really, I've said the last couple of weeks, and I'll repeat it here. Like I said, I thought it was a chaotically fun ending and closing angle before the show on Saturday, and it felt like a go home segment. But I love the one thing that I love about the build to this main event, and also Ospreay and Swerve and the Young Bucks, is that they're so intertwined. The story has been one fluid story between those two angles, despite them having separate angles to build both matches. It's so intertwined into one another, because you know the result of one is going to have some type of ramification on the main event of Moxley and Hangman.
So where are you at going into Sunday and these top two matches as far as who should win and who's going to win?
I had coming out of this segment the same thing that I had last week. After that stipulation got added, I now really want the Bucks to beat Ospreay and Swerve, because that's the more interesting stipulation to it. The EVP title, we've both established that it really means nothing. They barely use it. It's not really that big of a thing. Whereas Ospreay and Swerve being out of the world title picture makes their involvement in Hangman and Moxley matchup that much more interesting. Will Swerve put his own kind of intentions and his goals aside for the good of the company and help Hangman rescue the AEW World Championship, knowing the fact that he'll be helping his main enemy win the championship that he can't challenge for the next 365 days? That makes it much more interesting and adds that last minute boost to the Texas Death Match. That has to be the result there. And then in the main event, I'm going with it. I'm manifesting the good of AEW. They have to stick the landing on this. It could be one of the biggest shows of all time. So you need to end it on a high point and bring that perception. They are slowly catching up in the perception war to WWE. I feel like if Moxie wins, you are ruining all the momentum that you have going into this big show. So I think that Hangman should walk out AEW World Champion.
I think the Bucks are going to win because I think there's more story to be told with Swerve and Ospreay not being able to challenge for the title. But I was thinking about it. Let's say Hangman does win in the main event, which he should. as much as I joke about the Jon Moxley and Jack Perry return, they got to have Hangman win in this main event. Let's say Hangman wins the world title. We're kind of all thinking that, Ospreay will get the shot next year at All In because they're in Wembley.
Yeah.
And so the year will be up and then they can do it there. Is it going to be Ospreay and Hangman, though? Is Hangman holding the title for a year? Because the story's still Hangman and Swerve. That was still made clear last night that it's Hangman and Swerve. Maybe it's not Ospreay next year. Maybe it is Hangman and Swerve. Main event, All In, which they should have done last year, but Bryan Danielson took precedent, which, fair. Maybe it is Hangman and Swerve next year in the main event of All In.
Well, I think that, yeah, Hangman should be the champion going into All In next year, because I think the finals of the Owen Hart Cup will be Ospreay versus Swerve. I think you build the whole Owen Cup about these two guys who have been denied the opportunity to go for the AEW World Championship for the last year. You can do them as a tag team. I also think that that's the result that needs to happen, Bucks winning, because Ospreay and Swerve being forced to be a team and be in the tag team division automatically makes the tag team division better than it's been in 2 years. Because you have Ospreay and Swerve now. We saw last night, match of the night, in my opinion, or one of the best matches on the show was Proto Sheeta versus Bandito and Brody King. You can put Proto Sheeta in the tag team division. Buddy Matthews will be back soon, and you'll have Hounds of Hell in the tag team division. You already got Jet Speed. The tag team division will be renewed. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, the Golden Lovers, Young Bucks, FTRs on a heater right now. The tag team division will feel as fresh and as great as it once was 4 years ago if you have all those teams involved in the tag team division for the next 6 to 8 to 9 months. And then, by the time we get around to Double or Nothing and the summer season heading into All In, then we can build up to Swerve and Ospreay now losing those titles or being out of the tag team division and focusing on getting back to the AEW World Championship. So it checks a lot of boxes where you're helping out the overall picture for your company with those two results.
If Swerve and Ospreay lose, though, how keen is Swerve going to be on teaming with Ospreay? At least at the start, because he's already mad that Ospreay shouted out this stipulation. I don't feel like he's going to immediately be like, okay, well, we can't challenge for the world title. Guess we'll continue to team. One, he's mad at Ospreay. Two, they just lost to the Bucks, so that's not going to help his anger towards Ospreay. Like, especially if Ospreay gets pinned. Now, if Swerve gets pinned, maybe he'll be like, all right, what else are we going to do, kind of thing. But they're also losers out of this match if they lose to the Bucks, so that doesn't help their tag team case. They gotta get some wins up after that. I wouldn't team them immediately, is my point. I would have a little dissension and a little realization that, like, well, we can't really do anything else right now. So maybe we can get on the same page, work together, and be a tag team and run the tag team division, go after the tag team titles. But it shouldn't be like an immediate, okay, we lost, guess we're just gonna team together now. Because I don't think
I think there's gonna need some convincing from Will, and that's why I think that you can have Swerve be the one who loses this matchup for them, where he is still mad at Will for putting that on the line, but he also has to be mad at himself for doing it. So it's going to take Will to talk some sense into him. Basically, how we started this whole angle with Will trying to talk some sense into Swerve to help Hangman, and he'll be able to kind of get him on side to basically help out. And they will redeem themselves when they work together and help Hangman win the World Championship. Same thing. And he can basically convince them by saying, hey, we've put the Young Bucks behind us. They won the war. We'll get back to them, but also you also have unfinished business with the Hurt Syndicate, something like that, or the Hurt Syndicate attack Swerve in some way after All In, and he needs the help of Ospreay to fight off them.
You know what I wish they would have done last night, and they can maybe do it tonight, but I don't have too much faith that they will. I need a Young Bucks power abuse. It's potentially their last episode as EVPs because they could lose on Saturday. They should be just abusing all the power. They should pull guys out of matches. They should spend all the money. You know, when they were like, "Oh, we'll never financially recover from this." Tonight, after their limo had been destroyed last night, because they mentioned you mentioned it because they mentioned it. You know, the limo was on Tony Khan's card and everything. I need them just like showing up with another giant limo. I need them doing like 10 minutes worth of pyro. I need them just like going all out before All In of just spending Tony Khan's money. It's like Conan, his final week hosting the Tonight Show. That's what I need.
I feel like that would telegraph that they're losing though. If they do that much, that much, I feel like them not going in and doing what they did last week with the limo and going on the shopping spree and stuff like that. That was a subtle way of doing it, where it wasn't overtly, oh, these guys are definitely losing the EVP titles because they're going over the top with everything as their final bid as EVPs.
Then make some matches. Pull some guys out of matches. Give your guys some title shots out of here. Like it could be your last night. I'd be abusing the hell out of the power if that was the case. I'm telegraphing anything. Just this is the world we live in right now. The AEW world we live in is that you could lose on Saturday. All right, if I know that this is potentially my last night with this kind of power, I'm using all the power out of it. Oh.
Hey, they're already going to abuse the power when they make Rick Knox the referee, because Rick Knox is always the referee of their matches.
Like, I would add another stipulation to the tag team match.
I thought they should have made it like a tornado tag.
Yeah. I would add the stipulation I always go with is like, we got to beat you with a 1 count. You got to beat us with a 200 count. Good luck. I don't know why more heels don't do that. Put the odds in your favor.
A 200 count? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's supposed to be ridiculous. I don't want them to win. You're a heel. I mean, let's just do a Falls Count Anywhere match, a tornado tag. Why? That still makes things like too even.
No, that was stupid when Ricky Starks made his matchup with Ethan Page a Falls Count Anywhere matchup when he literally has lackeys that can get involved in the matchup. Yeah. It was pretty stupid. Go out of your way to watch the True Hill Heat preview for NXT Great American Bash, WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, and Evolution, because Kate was hilarious. Cresta is one of the funniest people ever, and my face still hurts from laughing so much. They were awesome, and Kate was the one who brought that up, that Ricky was pretty stupid for that. And the fact that Cresta is looking forward, out of 0 to 10, Cresta is looking forward to both Great American Bash and Saturday Night's Main Event at 0. She gave a 0 for both.
Out of 0.
She said, I'm going to pick a number. I would choose 100, but since I can't, I'm going to pick one of the numbers and say 0.
I can't even name you the full Great American Bash card. I'm not even joking.
I couldn't until I did that show, and I was like, "There's a contract signing. I'm part of this."
Yeah.
When they could have made that a tag team matchup with Trick Williams and Wes Lee versus Hendry and Santana.
All right, hold on. There's what? There's 5 matches
and 5 matches and a contract signing.
All right, folks.
Let's see. Let's test Jeremy. Breathe.
Gotta get in the zone here.
Yes, get in the zone. Get in the zone.
Obafemi and Inamura. There's no tag team title bout. Ricky and Ethan. Falls Count Anywhere. Blake and Jordan against 2 members of Fatal Influence. I don't even know which 2 members. Maybe they've announced them.
I'll
Maybe
allow
they
it.
haven't.
I'll allow
okay.
it. I'll allow it.
All right. Whew. All right. The contract signing.
You got 2 more to go.
Soul and Izzy. Right?
Yep. One more.
Oh,
this is the hardest one that I didn't expect you to get. This is the hardest one.
All right.
No one help him in the chat.
Yeah, nobody help me. I've named all the championships, right? North American. There's no Heritage Cup match. Oh, they added or is that next week? No, it's Great American Bash. I'm gonna take my shot. They added Javon and Jasper, right? That's Great American Bash.
There we go.
Let's go. Look at me. Person who hosts a wrestling podcast knows card for wrestling event.
Let's go. You did it. I felt like I was testing you on your SATs, man. Oh, man.
I can't believe they're doing a contract signing on this. Just stupid.
Like literally, most of the matches on this card have like 2-week build, 2-week build. Like they didn't care about this card. This is the most lazy. Hey, we just got a counter program AEW card.
That's what
ever.
it is. That's all it is. They're like, oh shit, AEW moved their show to Saturday afternoon. Guess we better throw this on Saturday afternoon. All right. Anything else from the closing segment that you want to talk about, or the top 2 matches from All In?
I enjoyed the main event was really good. I thought in general, everybody.
I mean, it wasn't
really
as
well
good as
with
JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich, but yeah,
you know that's fantastic. Because there's no gauge. There's no gauge. Because if I say you're gassing it up by calling a mid match that's forgettable, fantastic. Your reaction is, oh, sorry, it didn't have 45 counters, and this is awesome, chance. No, there is an in between. There is levels to this. There's a match that's fine but forgettable, which is JZ Jane in any match. There's good. There's very good. There's great. Then there's like excellent and fantastic and those multi-syllable words to describe a wrestling match. You went all the way over here for something that is here. There are middle grounds. Just saying. Hope he's still watching. But yes,
this is why we got to do numbers. Numbers out here instead of words.
Yes, we need letter grades. We need letter grades because I feel for Joel a C-. If his kid gets a C-, he goes, fantastic grade, fantastic. See, like that's when me and Jimmy came to this realization that we needed to start grading wrestling shows like we would get in Catholic school because we went to the same high school. Then we went to Catholic school. So if a show is a 70 out of 10, it's passable. It's a passable show. It's solid stuff all around. If it's better than that, then it's how you would react if your kid gave you this grade. So 1 through 10. That's why I do the 0 through 10 stuff. Like 0 through 10. Like if your kid's getting a 6 out of 10, a 60, are you gonna say that's fantastic? No, that's mid. You could do better.
I was just telling my kids, good job. No matter what they get. It's like, yeah, good job.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm done. I tip my cap. That's not how I'm going to be as a parent.
Oh, you got a D. Good job. You tried. Whatever.
All about you tried.
A and a D.
You didn't even finish half of the test.
Same thing. That's fine. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with that stuff. Still, you showed up. You attempted. You did a good job.
You took a bump. Hey,
Yeah.
You took a bump.
There's positive reinforcement around here.
I will be so positive. Don't get me wrong. I don't want people to be like, oh, SP3 is a horrible father. I will give positive reinforcement when need be. So. But you've heard me. If you watched this show before, I was bragging about my daughter is 5 years old and reading at an 8-year-old level. This is the type of standard I want.
You bury your daughter's cooking, though, which is very funny.
I'm honest. I'm honest to a fault. They could be 5 years old, 50 years old. I will be honest with you. I called out Goldberg when he was winded after one punch. And I'm going to call out my daughter for giving me sandwiches with just barbecue sauce and mayonnaise.
Get this peanut butter mayo barbecue pickle sandwich out of my face. That sounds awful, by the way. That sounds god-awful.
Godly.
All right. MJF and Mark Briscoe had a talky talk. And Mark Briscoe was like, go ahead. You're going to mention Jay. Just go do it. And MJ was like, I'm not going to do that. I will mention him. And that, he has to look down and see his brother. And in the end, he just says, it should have been you, Mark. And then they fought. And then that bled into the Hurt Syndicate and the Patriarchy and Jet Speed also fighting. I didn't like this. Why? I didn't like it because I didn't think it was necessary. This is my whole problem with MJF promos. This is not necessary. I think MJF is a good promo. I don't think he's as good as some people say he is because I think too often he goes with the low-hanging fruit stuff. And that's what he did here. And everybody knows he's going to do it. This isn't the first time somebody called out. Yuta called it out. Of like, you're going to bury the sports teams. And then you're going to make fun of my wrestling career. And then whatever. And that's exactly what MJ... Like, when they call it out, do something different. Don't go exactly where they think you're going to go with it. So Mark called out, you're going to mention Jay. Go for it. And then MJF just mentions Jay. And it wasn't a cute roundabout way because we all saw the punchline coming when he said Jay's looking down like, oh, he's going to say Mark's a failure and it should have been him. And that's exactly what the punchline was. I think MJF is better than this stuff. I truly do. That's what disappoints me the most with these MJF promos is I think he's actually better than this low-hanging fruit stuff. But he continues to do it. And when his opponent calls out that he's going to do it and he still does it, I just get bored by it. It's like, like it has no impact on me. It's like, all right, cool. You did the thing that everyone thought you were going to do, that your opponent said you were going to do. Okay. What were your thoughts on it?
I actually liked it.
No?
Because I thought it was too... I kind of agree with what Redman Survivor is saying in the chat. He's like, it was very much cartoonish the last couple of weeks between MJF and Mark Briscoe. And it's cool to have that be the setup of the rivalry, him saying he has a tiny pickle, but you had to go into a more serious tone and you had to go a more serious route with it. And the fact that Mark brought up Jay himself, it wasn't MJF who brought up Jay. He brought Jay into it. I think it's much different than the segment with Chris Jericho when Jay was brought up, where Chris Jericho was the first one to mention Jay, not MJF. It wasn't MJF. MJF did not bring up Jay first. It was actually Mark Briscoe who brought up Jay, and he went in a different route with it because Mark was not saying, "Oh, you're gonna bring up Jay and you're just gonna say something about Jay." No, he directly said, "You're going to bring up Jay and insult him to get under my skin." And he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." He was like, actually, Jay Briscoe is a great man. He put over Jay. He put over Jay in the way that I think Chris Jericho intended to put over Jay, but it came off disingenuous and it came off empty. MJF put it in a way that Jay Briscoe's reputation is that of someone who is one of the best guys that's ever been in this business and that there's a special place in heaven for him. However, I think I pity him because he has to look down at you and see how much of a disappointment you are. And it got under his skin. It got the desired reaction from the fans in attendance who started booing MJF. And it's always a thin line with MJF whenever he plays his heel role, where sometimes he plays his heel role so well that he'll get positive reaction from the fans. But he's going against someone who's a genuine beloved babyface, who's like the antithesis of what MJF is. MJF is a narcissistic, sarcastic prick who always wins. Mark Briscoe is just the beloved family man who's very genuine with everything he says, but he loses a lot. This is yin and yang. This is very much a yin and yang type of situation where they are on different sides of the spectrum, and you had to go in a more serious personal note with it. And Jay Briscoe is the overwhelming kind of inspiration of Mark Briscoe's whole career now. Ever since he passed away, that's one of the defining things about him and how you can get under his skin. And he knew he was going to do it. He just didn't know it was going to be in this way, where he told him that Jay's probably looking down on him, and if God willing, he was here today, he would look at you and say, "Chicken, it should have been you in that accident." And I thought the line hit. It got the desired reaction from the fans. It got the desired reaction from Mark Briscoe, who snapped. I thought it was very well done. I thought this was one of the better promo exchanges that got the desired reaction from the fans, got the desired reaction from the characters involved, and it gave us a personal note where now we know, heading into the Casino Battle Royal, that yes, it's about the guaranteed world title shot, but it's also about this feud, this rivalry that's been building over the last couple of weeks, and they took a turn to a more personal route where the Casino Gauntlet is just going to be used to add more heat to the Mark Briscoe versus MJF rivalry.
You got to do a Mark Briscoe MJF one-on-one match out of this. Them starting the Casino Gauntlet and wrestling for 3, 4, 5 minutes before more people come in isn't a blow-off. You do a line like that, you got to give an actual blow-off to this feud. I completely forgot about the Jericho stuff, by the way. Shame on you for bringing that up. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I just don't need this death stuff brought up in any form.
I don't think it's gonna be something that brought up every week. But if it brings up to make it a more personal rivalry, what else is he gonna say? What else is he gonna say in this promo?
He's the generational promo. Figure it out.
But there's no other way to make it a memorable promo than otherwise bringing up the key factor, this big overwhelming cloud that is in Mark Briscoe's career. That's part of his character, is his connection to his brother that passed away, and he put over his brother.
Then he's not that great of a promo if he can't figure out something else to say that isn't, let me reference, hey, your brother would think you should die instead of me. You can still put over Jay.
There's a kernel of truth what he said, that Mark Briscoe's a loser. That was the whole essence of how this whole rivalry started. That Mark Briscoe's a loser. That's what he's saying. That Mark has become a loser. He's no longer the guy that we look at as one half of the greatest tag team of all time. He's a cartoonish loser. That's what he's saying. That Jay's embarrassed by him.
Sure, you can say all that. Why do you need the punchline? Jay would said it should have been you. Meaning you should have died instead of me. Why do you need that punchline?
Because he's a prick. He's a douchebag.
Okay. All right. Cam Hawkins is here. Cam, how you doing?
SP3 on some bullshit early in the morning. Here we go.
This guy. How dare you come on this show after you disrespected the Vanity Project, calling them 3 Legacy Codys? How dare you? On our sacred day, on C-Suite Thursday. But you did come because I told you to come join the C-Suite, so I appreciate you for coming. Good to see you, Cam.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing, Cam?
Hey man, cool man. Getting ready to leave. Leaving in a couple of hours to head to Dallas. I'm literally 3 hours up the road, straight shot. So, Yeah, get ready to go. Me and my man Brian Zillin from PW Torch, going out there. Yeah, I have a thing. I think between now and then, he doesn't know it. Nobody knows it except Yahoo knows it.
You're gonna spoil it now.
Huh?
I said except.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
No. I'm not even gonna spoil it because I don't want to like. I don't want to like. Because if it don't happen, I'm gonna be like, it would be a big letdown. But AEW knows it, Yahoo knows it, Rose and Booster know it. That's who knows it. And so I'm going to have to explain to Brian in the car why I can't talk to him because I'm gonna be furiously typing because deadlines. It's kind of crazy right now, but I'm excited, man. It's
Oh, did cam freeze? Usually it's on.
Yeah. I was like.
He looks like he's
down at.
Am I bad connection?
Yeah, it was you.
You go.
Which is crazy because I'm home. Like I'm at the mothership, baby. Like everything's great here. I pay for the internet here. That's crazy. But no. I'm excited. It's an AEW thing. It has a different feel from WrestleMania, man. WrestleMania is so like it's so big and grandiose, and I don't mean that as a compliment. I mean it as a statement. You know what I mean? You got to go to 8 different places to do 16 different things, and only these people show up to this thing, and you might go to one session, and your friends might go to another. The way they've organized this is very, very, very straightforward. It is, Dynamite yesterday, Collision tonight. Tomorrow morning is Media Day. Tomorrow evening is Ring of Honor. So there's a big gap to do whatever it is you got set up between that. All in is fairly early. It's in the afternoon. It is, it's really, really straightforward. And then there's, GCW. If you're hanging out late, I'll tell you what. I love my media brothers and sisters. My man Adrian Hernandez, who was flying down, was like, "Who wants to go see Superman?" And I was like, "So wait, you're flying across the country? I mean, I'm not even far. Like from Vegas, it's like a 2-hour flight, right? Not far, but you're flying out to a different state to go sit in a theater and be quiet next to your peers." What are we doing?
Let Adrian live. He just wants to go see Superman.
No. This
Superman.
is the right mentality. What are you
Watch
doing?
it at your house. Like, what are you doing? But no, I'm
watch it when you come home. Like, what are we doing?
Watch it at your house. Like, what are you doing? But I'm like quietly and slowly organizing a dinner tonight for people who maybe don't go to Collision or get out late because Dallas is like, again, it's down the road. Like my best friends live there, where we're gonna like do stuff because this should be fun. And again, the way that AEW's organized it, there's not something to do every 10 minutes. And then Starcast, you got 2 days of Starcast, which is like the one time I've been twice. Starcast is very fun. It's I like the way they organize it. You can just pull up to people, dap them up, and keep going. Like it's a very cool thing. So I'm excited for the next couple of days, man. I'm excited for of course, like the main show. I listen, and this is not just because I did a thing. I love watching Athena wrestle, man. I love watching Athena wrestle. I think she I think it was Brooklyn Takeover 2 with her and Asuka, where I was like, yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. You were there? Salute. It was I was like, yeah. That's it. So yeah, man, it was it's gonna be great to see her. I'm excited for the weekend, man. And again, when it's local, even though Dallas is a couple of hours away, when it's local, it's just so nice. You don't have to go to the airport. You don't gotta it's so nice. I'm excited, man. A lot of people are gonna be there. Like it is just really, and I'll say this. So I was on the conference call, but I wasn't on the conference call. You want to hear why I didn't ask a question at the conference call?
Sure,
So I'm in my regulars, my shoot jobs group chat, right? And they're talking about what they have in their cart for Prime Day. My TV went out like 2-3 weeks ago. I've had the same TV for like 10 years, right? So I was like, TVs are cheap. I'm gonna just hit a lick when it's time to hit a lick. Prime Day comes. And they're like, hey, you can get this 65-inch Insignia for $300. And I was like, I have $300. I think I can swing it. So I'm going to check out. And they were like, well, we can ship it to you, or you can go pick it up at Best Buy across the highway. And I said, oh, shit. Okay. So I'm going to go pick it up. I've been driving back and forth to San Antonio. Go to pick it up, realize I don't have gas. And I'm like, I don't want to put a TV in my car and run out of gas. Like, that's how somebody gets your ass.
That's
right?
how you lose your TV very quickly.
Yep.
So I told him, I said, look, I'm going to pull back around when I go get gas. I go to get gas, come to get the TV. My man's outside with the dolly. I can't get one of my rear seats down because the spring's not in the right place. So I'm like, yo, I'll be back. I'm either going to call somebody with a truck or I'm going to figure this out. Get home. I'm real cool with the maintenance guys in my apartment. So we back there diagnosing, trying to figure out how to get it right. We finally get it right. I pick up the TV. I set up the TV. All the while, Tony Khan is fielding questions. I got the conference call on speakerphone the whole time. So yeah, priorities didn't happen. Also, SP3. You talk about Vanity Project. When I saw the graphic, I hit Rick, and he was just like, "This is a lot. This is a lot. 3 of them." I haven't watched him on Cody's pod, but I've seen like the clips, and like,
it's good.
People don't get his personality, and I'm like, how do you not get it at this point? Like, he's a jerk, but like a jerk you can rely on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's confident in himself. He is an amazing friend. He's very passionate about what he does, and I just watch like clips get taken out of context. Like, that's how black people joke, and people forget that, and it's so like, it doesn't. Well, I don't know if it bothers him, but it bothers me just to be like, this is like, he joking. He was talking about Mercedes and like people like doing like the text messages for like $400 and stuff. Dog, that's how y'all joke in the locker room. Like that's actually funny. And they were like, he's a 40-year-old wrestling in a warehouse, and I was like, he's not 40.
He's not 40. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it was but yeah, it was funny. It was funny. But yeah, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Jeremy, if the thing happens and you guys are still on, I'll shoot you a message.
Okay.
About the thing.
All right.
About the thing.
Good luck.
Oh, I'll tell you what didn't happen.
Big thing.
Something didn't happen, and I'm sad that it didn't happen. We tentatively had Goldberg going into his last match.
Oh,
and that would have been really fun. That would have been really fun. It didn't work schedule-wise, but that would have been really cool. Just, you know, in the same vein of getting to talk to Sting kind of on that last run, like literally definitively your last match would have been really cool. It just didn't line up. But salute to him, man. That's cool. But yeah.
You should have watched Goldberg and Taker with us before that interview if you were gonna have it.
No, I can't.
We watched it back.
I literally like, I don't have very many like things that I stick to principle wise. That's one of them. Like I can't. Nah, those.
Wow.
Shout out to everybody who loves what they love. Those shows don't get. Was that in Saudi or was that in Australia?
Yeah, no,
that was in Saudi. Yeah, that was
okay.
Saudi. No.
Yeah. No.
Fair. I'm good.
I'm good.
Very fair. What match are you looking forward to the most at All In, Cam?
Really? I think Swerve, Ospreay, and the Bucks. And like me saying that is crazy because like I don't look forward to Young Bucks matches. I don't seek these things out. I don't anticipate them. But
I think one of our first interactions with each other was me arguing that the Bucks are better than the Usos. I think that was one of the first things we argued. No, I'm still right. I'm still right. I'm still right.
I hate the pose that I hate their muscle pose. Everything they do is to bother me, right? But I've said this, like, however I feel about them, I feel like I've always respected the fact that the style that they wrestle, along with Kenny, created a wrestling company. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Regardless of, like, again, I do not like how James Harden plays basketball. It's impossibly effective. It's getting him into the Hall of Fame. Like, if he's on your team, you're going to win more games than you lose. Like, there's no disputing that part, right? So even though I'm not the biggest fan, I'm to see where Swerve's come over the last, 2 years, to see what Ospreay is, knowing that those are the guys who are going to be leading the charge. Those are the guys who are going to get the keys. I'm really interested in how much they do and what they do. One thing about the Bucks, whether they win or lose, they're going to give and give and give and give. Whatever you're going to, like, whatever you can do, they will let you do. I think that's going to be just a different level of fun. And getting to see it in person. Oh, about that. Somebody's going to be really mad at me when they see them seats that I got. Oh, boy. The Cam hates AEW. Cam loves WWE. He's part of the problem. Baby, when you see me front and center, you're going to feel a way. From your couch on your illegal stream.
Hit him.
Yeah, they might be ordering it. They might be ordering the show. You don't
with whose
know
money?
I don't know.
If you listen, if you
man, they ain't got no job.
If you tweet poorly, it's because it's for free. It's because nobody's put a cap on you. If people had to pay to tweet, you see a lot less dumb shit.
Yeah.
So no, on their illegal stream. Shout out to Streams East. I don't even think Streams East is caught on to AEW yet. Hopefully, this show is so good that people start to bootleg it. But really, I thought that Toni Storm was an MVP last night. You got one or two lines you can throw away, but it was really, really good. And pointing out the idea that the reason you have all these titles, the reason you made that a priority is because you're not secure in yourself as a professional. It was really interesting. I don't know if anybody's ever really addressed it that way. It was really interesting. I'm excited for her. I think she's going to be at Media Day tentatively. I don't know what to say to that woman. Like, I would say to that woman. Of course, like I'm talking about dinner. Malcolm's dumb ass talking about we going to Waffle House tonight. No. Turn it off.
What else would you expect Malcolm to
turn it off for an hour?
He needs a sponsorship. He needs a sponsorship.
He's got to get the sponsorship.
Now we might take a picture outside. I've literally put it in my head like I want to line everybody up and take like a hard ass picture outside of Waffle House. And I just know that like,
but not have Malcolm in it.
And not have Malcolm in it. Make Malcolm take the picture.
Yeah, not have Malcolm.
That would be hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be hard. Yeah. And then like let's go. Can we go to a real restaurant? Can we be adults? Like, can we sit down somewhere like where the menu is on paper but not in plastic? Yeah, I mean, like, I want to live a little bit. But yeah, I think the tag match is the one I'm looking forward to the most. It's a 2:00 pay-per-view, man. Of course, it's 3:00 Eastern, but it's a 2:00 pay-per-view. I can leave, and the sun's still gonna be up, and like I can go like do stuff. So
You can
excited.
go watch Saturday night's main event. Like a real wrestling fan.
You can go there.
Yeah.
How much I'm saying? Come on, dog. Come on. What's
Wow,
really cool?
Fake WWE fan Cam over here.
Yeah, I'm hosting a Evolution watch party. As a matter of fact,
Oh, okay.
there's a
sweet.
bar in Austin called 1972. I mean, I don't know the historical significance, but the bar only shows women's sports. Like that is their thing, right? And so my man DJ Hella Yella was like, "Yo, there's a bar who like wants to put on the show. Let's do it." And listen, we've done watch parties before. Like we've done Royal Rumble. We've had a great turnout. We've never had like anticipation like this. This is how you find out like there are women wrestling fans in the city who want a place to watch their wrestling because they've been like, "Yo, how do I RSVP? Yo, I'm bringing my friends." It's like, oh, this is really, really cool. I wish, and I think like if we do the same place going forward, I'd love to put a woman on the flyer, and there's my homegirl Dora, who's part of We Love Wrestling. Like I'd love to have her be on there because it's cool that we're doing it, but it's also like it feels a little incomplete. But it should be fun. I'm excited to do it, man. Knowing that there's an audience for that is really, really cool. So yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Safe travels.
Sounds like a fun
Cam.
weekend.
I appreciate it, man.
Safe
Yeah,
travels.
it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Where do I put it? I think I hung it up. I have the coolest shirt that I'm bringing to the show. Hold on. I'm sorry, fighting. Hold on.
Let's see what Cam has.
Let's see what has.
Do you think it's a Sting shirt? I hope it's a Sting shirt.
I hope so too. I have a Sting shirt. I don't know if I can find it, but I haven't.
Yeah, I got the shirt from Revolution. The
Yeah.
farewell to an icon shirt.
Yeah, I wasn't in the building in time to get. that shirt.
You got in the building like as the bell was ringing for the first match. The merch lines were insane. I got to my seat by the time the bell was ringing for the first match.
By the time I went and got a shirt, it was during what was supposed to be the meat madness matchup.
Yeah.
The scramble match. That's when everybody went to the stands and to the bathroom because Chris Jericho was coming out.
Dude, that was hilarious. You were like, "Let's go get food." I was like, "Huh?" And you're like, "Jericho's." I was like, "Oh, okay."
See, I knew before everybody else, and then everybody else came with us.
Yeah.
Like Jericho's coming out. It's cool.
Yeah. SP3 was halfway up the aisle by the time I knew what was going on.
It's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm not sitting here watching the Chris Jericho matchup.
think we missed,
2024.
We saw the ending to that match. We were back in our seats by the time we got to the ending of that match because we were up there so quickly that we beat
Found
everybody.
it. I watched it because I'm a smart man. So shout out to WCW Worldwide, my man who does like old school wrestling merch.
Yeah.
Oh, NWO
cool.
Texas. Let's go.
Not a Sting shirt, but
Hey, bigger and blacker.
Hard than a bitch.
Bigger and better. My bad. I said blacker.
I'm gonna stun on them boys. They not ready for that, boy. Yeah, man.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
that
Love
looks
it.
good. That looks
Huh.
good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay.
I'll be
I'm
looking
gonna-
out for you
Hey,
on my
man.
legal stream.
On your illegal stream. Hey, man. We only get to do this one time, and we should spend more of it enjoying things than telling people what they should or should not enjoy. And I'm gonna take a lot of videos insulting people by name. It's gonna be really fun.
By name. Wow.
But yeah, I'm going to work on packing 6 pairs of underwear, 1 for the day, 1 for the street. Be out there for 3 days. That'll be fun. 6 pairs of sneakers, just because. And I should probably charge the devices to actually do my job. I think that's important. I was on the phone with my editor, and he's like, "Yo, so what you gonna go out there and do?" I was like, "Shit, kid, you know."
Listen to the Clips album.
Dog.
You know,
Not worry about.
Listen, somebody sent me the bootleg.
Oh, I refuse.
No. They sent me the bootleg 2 days ago. I ain't touched that bitch.
Yeah, I refuse.
man.
I'm like, absolutely
Mm-mm.
not. I saw
Listen.
I saw the leaks came out, and I'm like, I don't care. You know, past me would have been like, all right, yeah, let's listen to this thing early. But now I'm like, nah, we're waiting until the official rollout tonight at midnight.
Exactly.
That's when we're hitting it up. That's when we're listening to this thing.
I think I'm going to go to my local wrestling school, and I'm going to train, and I'm going to make it so that I can go to a press conference. And when I see a question like Xeno Hours, a loaded ass question like that, you see that? Cam, final prediction for Hangman versus Moxley, and why will Darby Allin or Bryan Danielson cash in after Mox returns? I'm going to make it just so I can get up and walk out when I get a question like that.
good. See, you also don't like Zito Hour. Screw that
I love
guy.
Zito
That
Hour.
guy sucks.
I love Zito.
No,
That's
that
my
guy
guy.
sucks.
Do
he
not
doesn't.
disparage the top weed.
I
He's the
love
top weed
Zito.
around
Oh
here.
my God.
Brian
This is
Alvarez
loaded,
buried him.
Loaded
Brian
fucking question.
Alvarez buried him.
And why will this thing happen? You know what? But nah, man. I'm excited. And really, like, yeah, WrestleMania is great to go to, right? Because you're thinking about everything that surrounds it. I don't know if there was a match I was excited to go see at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Cam
more
hates
the
More
job.
about the
Cena.
WrestleMania.
yeah, it's the
And,
job.
yeah.
Like, my thing was I got to you know, see Rick wrestle on a pay-per-view. That was the coolest thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a different thing, but it was like, you know, it's WrestleMania. I'm like, being here for this is really a cool thing. Knowing that they've killed it in 2025. It's been good television, it's been good wrestling. And to see it kind of culminate here, it's very exciting. So whatever happens, man, I'm excited to see it. So yeah. Let me get the fuck up out of here, man. I know I got shit to do. Thank y'all as always.
Cam, safe travels. Tell everybody.
Yahoo Sports Uncrowned.
Pals.
Peace on Athena. She was amazing. We talked for a half hour, man. She's great. I told AEW when they reached out after it, I was like, we left half of what she said off. She's incredible. She's great. Salute to her. But okay, I'm shutting the fuck up. Bye, guys. Thank you for the time as always. Stay up. One love. Hook 'em horns. Yeah.
Tell pals we said
Love you,
hello.
brother. Yes. Tell the pals we said hey. Oh, that was
There we
nice.
go. There we go.
Nice
Cam
visit.
Hawkins with a run in. All right. He mentioned Mercedes and Toni Storm. They had their face to face. The only thing people remember from this, unfortunately, is that Mercedes does not know when the show is going to be. And that was unfortunate.
She's gonna show up on Sunday. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on, guys?
That was unfortunate because otherwise I thought the promo was good. Toni Storm is so good. So good. Toni Storm is amazing.
She has fantastic delivery, and whoever is writing the script, if it's Toni, she's great. If it's someone else, even better. RJ City, whoever it is, they are giving her some of the best material that's ever been said. The whole opening sequelae of her talking about you have the death of a kiddie pool. You have the authenticity of a spray tan in a rainstorm. Oh my god! I was like, she hit her with the bars from the jump. Like Mercedes could say nothing after that. All Mercedes did is say all the things that proved Toni right, because she started to, I'm the cat. You can't stop the money trade. It's like I just said, you're just nothing but cat traces.
Yeah. She called herself the Alpha, Omega, and everything in between. I'm like, don't other people have that nickname? Isn't there already an Alpha and an Omega?
In this company, yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, Mercedes just proved Toni right with what she was saying. And I think Mercedes is a better promo than people give her credit for. But when she's up against Toni Storm, it's night and day of who's carrying this program on the mic. Like, I like Mercedes' little sit down. It wasn't really a sit down, but when she, stomped on the film and did the backstage.
that
Like
was
I
good.
like that.
Her
promo.
pre-tapes, that's her strength when it comes to
Yeah.
promos. It's
Yeah.
pre-tapes. Live, going back and forth, especially with someone who, like I've said it. I think I said this on Tuesday. I was like, it's Toni Storm and Becky Lynch. Those are the two greatest female wrestlers on the mic I've ever seen in my life, and we are living in the era of those two. And like, it's just no one can compete with those two. They'll give you enough that you can compete, but you're just not going to be as good as them. And Tony's on another level in 2025. 2025 has been the year of some of the best promos I've ever heard, and it's all come from one person, Timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah, she's been fantastic. And this was another one, just knocked it out of the park. Closed with "Eat shit, bitch." And then Mercedes tried to strike. She ducked. Toni ducked. Went for the moneymaker, but Mercedes rolled out of the ring. And they lived to fight on Saturday. What was funny about this is Mercedes said Sunday, and the crowd got on her. And then in the next match, Tony Schiavone said Sunday as well. And I think it was Taz who corrected him. It was like Saturday. Like, oh man. People are just used to Sunday pay-per-views. The Saturday just throwing them all off, you know? What can you do?
Yeah. And it's also the fact that all their pay-per-views this year has been on Sunday. This is the first one on Saturday, so I can understand.
It's also just years of like, oh, pay-per-views are on Sunday. Yeah. Like now it's been a thing. It's been a thing for a while that pay-per-views have been on a Saturday, but yeah, for AEW, they have been on Sunday this year. It happens, whatever. It was not my takeaway from the promo. It was the how great Toni Storm is. Yeah. But what if Mercedes shows up at Evolution? And she mentioned Sunday for a reason all along. And she's going to be at Evolution.
The new AEW Women's World Champion showing up at Evolution. What a moment. What a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I love the kind of the story of the promo was to like Mercedes is so obsessed with winning the AEW Women's World Championship because she says that's her legacy. And Tony saying, legacies don't exist. You're gonna die.
That was straight out of Mike Tyson. That was the Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Before, I was like, oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah, he was like, "You're gonna die." He was like,
"Turn into dust."
You fear an ordinary life. I fear an ordinary death. I love the fact that Toni Storm just be dropping bars, yo. Like, I felt like this was the most effective of the segments. Not all of the brawls and attack segments worked for me, but this worked for me.
Oh, the promo stuff for them has been good. It has been the physical action that I'm like, not really feeling this. But all the promo stuff has been great. And Mercedes, the pre-tape stuff has been good. And Toni kills it every time she's on the mic. And I thought this was a strong segment as well. I still think Toni's winning on Saturday. That's my official call. Toni's winning.
I can't manifest all the good results. I think Mercedes Moné is winning this title.
Okay.
I might change my mind. I got till tomorrow for the preview I'm doing, but
SP3 is gonna hedge and pick Mercedes here, and then at the preview he's gonna go with.
And then on True Hill Heat, I'll probably change back to Mercedes again. You know,
so it's on record. One of these shows,
always do this.
He has the right answer.
But I love the fact that with all of the major matches, like the 3 matches that we've just talked about between Ospreay and Swerve and the Young Bucks, Hangman and Moxley, and Mercedes and Toni, it could go either way.
Oh yeah.
It can go either way. That's the mark of a really good build when you don't know for sure who's winning at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, all 3, even 4. Omega Okada.
Yeah. Omega Okada is the same way because you can definitely see a world where Okada wins and Omega starts doing Golden Lovers things moving forward.
Yeah, the top 4 matches, I'm like, I don't know who's winning any of these. I feel most confident in Hangman and Toni.
I feel most confident in Omega beating Okada.
So
And we complimented a whole bunch of these segments last night. The best thing they did on the show was that video package. Oh my God, that video package was phenomenal. If y'all know me, on Tuesday we talked about how I thought the great Rhea Ripley and Io Sky promo video package heading into Evolution was really well done work by WWE production to make it feel like a long-term story when it really hasn't been that. This was them just putting everything all together. This historic rivalry from New Japan Pro Wrestling and these four epic matches that really defined the last generation of New Japan Pro Wrestling and took the pro wrestling world to a whole nother level. I did an article on it on Sports Illustrated about how Okada Omega changed the pro wrestling business and was responsible for the creation of AEW. And then they put it all together in a video package and then mixed in all the stuff. And it made me realize how well they have integrated the personal touch in the build to this matchup in adding Don Callis, the person that betrayed Kenny Omega, who was supposed to be his family and turned his back on him. And now he's aligned with his greatest rival. They brought in his best friend, his golden lover, Kota Ibushi, who wanted to defend his honor, but instead he got attacked for it and it caused Omega to come back. It's add that personal touch. But my God, this might have been the best promo I've ever heard from Kazuchika Okada in English. I don't know about his Japanese promos. The Japanese promos always seem really well done too, but I don't understand it. That final line, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to hurt you. Maybe I'll kill you. I was like, oh let's go, Okada. Okada dropped the bar.
We need murder.
We need murder because it's all been about who's the better wrestler between them. Now it's personal for the first time in 5 matches. Now he made him bleed his own blood. He was like, I saw your blood come out and I loved it. I was like, what? What, Okada? You're bloodthirsty now? Let's go.
So Kenny was on Wrestling Observer Radio and he was talking about the build to the match. And he's basically like, I can't assume that every person in our audience has seen our past matches. We just can't assume that. So we have to give them something that is AEW centric and relevant to that story. If you have never seen a Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada match, we have to do a good job with the video packages. But what else can we do to make you want to see this match? And he mentioned that's why, we had to take it to a personal level with Don Callis and with the attack and everything. Because it can't just be, we're going to have a great match in the history of our great rivalry. Tune in. And I thought we talked about it when Don Callis aligned with Okada and Okada attacked Omega and they did the stretcher angle and everything. We talked about they needed to do something different to add a different element to this match, and going to that personal level makes a lot of sense for it. I don't know if the Don Callis partnership is a long-term thing. Now, if he wins, maybe, but Takeshi's still there. So, they did the face-to-face. There's still some history there that they can play off of. If Okada loses, I imagine that'll probably be the end of it. Don Callis won't see a need for Okada at that point. I kind of think Kenny's winning. I'm leaning towards Kenny, but I could see Kenny just being like, yeah, Okada win. Let me do tag team stuff with Ibushi. Because it doesn't make much sense.
Then it sets up another matchup that they can do, because then they're 2-2.
Yeah. It doesn't make much sense for Kenny to win, and now, okay, let me do tag stuff with Ibushi. You got 3 titles. You better be defending some of these. You can't just do tag stuff with Ibushi now. So I could see Okada winning because of that. And obviously, that's Okada. It's fine if Okada wins. It's not just, Kenny wants to do tag stuff. But yeah, I could see Okada winning because of that. But it's another one. In these top 4 matches, there's an argument for either side to win. I'm confident in Toni because I think at some point Mercedes has to lose and the downfall has to start. And if you're not going to do it against Toni Storm, who are you doing it with? Like, what are we doing if it's not going to be Toni Storm on this stage? And I'm confident in Hangman because I don't think they're going to screw this up. They've come too far to screw this up. But if Darby Allin wins that damn gauntlet, then all bets are off.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Tony. Don't even play with me. But yeah, great job with that video package. That video package was an all-timer. 2 all-timer video packages in this build up to Okada Omega 5, which, like I think I said it last week. Me and Jimmy McRae, we rewatched every matchup of the series for True Hill Heat Patreon, and man, that they have quite the kind of mark and expectations to this matchup and the potential to meet. But I love the fact that they've made this build different, and it was already different within itself because this is the first time that Okada is legitimately and storyline wise the heel going into the matchup. I know there's a lot of people that define Okada as a heel in the last matchup because he was the dominant 720-day reign IWGP heavyweight champion, but he was still the top babyface of the company, and it was like a passing of the torch from one top babyface to the other. Can he officially becoming the top guy in New Japan Pro Wrestling? But this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to. That's the match I'm looking forward to the most. And second is probably it's a tie between Hangman Moxley and Mercedes and Toni, and then third would be Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. But the top 4 matches, I think they've done an excellent job building up to them. I'll say good. See, I forgot my own ranking. Good for Mercedes and Toni. Like we said, I think that the promos have been better than the brawls and attack angles that they've done. So it's been good. I think they landed at good with a really damn well done promo segment last night.
What do you think, or how long do you think Okada and Omega goes?
I think the over-under should be at 30 minutes. The shortest match was like 28 and a half minutes in the G1 in 2017. So I think 30 minutes is the marker over-under. And if I had to choose one, I would say over. I think it goes like 35 to 40.
Okay. I definitely think it's going over 30. Yeah, I definitely think it's going over 30. And then I could see it going up to 45.
Match Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Yeah, I could see it going up to 45, honestly. Like, there's not too many matches on this show. I don't think they're really going to add anything to the main card at this point. They'll add some stuff for 0 Hour. But I think the main card's kind of set.
Yeah. I think between those 4 matches, I can see, like I said, I think 35 to 40 is where I'll stick on with Okada and Omega. I think the main event goes like 30 minutes, which is like 20 minutes of this bloody brawl and then 10 minutes of run-ins. Then you got Mercedes and Toni. I think that will go like 25. I think they're going to break the record for the longest women's match in company history. Then Ospreay and Swerve versus Young Bucks, I'll say 20 to 22 minutes. But those are going to be the 4 longest matches on the card. I think the Casino Gauntlet's going to be in the 20-25 range.
I think the women's Casino Gauntlet's going to be shorter than.
Yeah. I think it'd be under 20. I think it'll be under 20 for that.
Nah. Grace saying, will they add FTR to that tag team title match? If
the All-Star tag starts off the show, I could see them doing that.
I still think we're gonna get the Cope return and I think it's gonna be like that's gonna be part of the show. I don't think it's gonna be a long match or anything, but I think we're gonna get that as part of the show.
I think they would have done that on Dynamite, not on Collision.
The Cope return?
Yeah, to set up the matchup at
I think the Cope return is gonna happen at All In.
Oh, you think it's good? So how do they do that though?
Oh, FTR just comes out, brags they're the greatest tag team in the world, and Stokely's like, no tag team can beat us, and then the Outrunners come out and they're like, you are a great tag team, but you're not a great trio, and then here comes Cope, and then they do a 6-man tag.
They're gonna do an impromptu 6-man?
Yeah. It's not gonna be long. Like it's gonna be a relatively short, because Stokely's gonna be part of it. So like the moment Stokely comes in, he gets wiped out by Cope and the Outrunners, and that's that.
Yeah. I think the interaction between Patriarchy and FTR was for the long game of Christian interacting with FTR.
Yeah. Nick Wayne comes out, or Nick Wayne gets taken out, and Cope takes his place. Okay. Cope as a heel doesn't make any sense, though.
It doesn't. Why would he help Christian?
I thought he wanted to be a heel. Sorry, my headphones are beeping. Apologies, everybody. I thought he wanted to be a heel earlier. I thought that's why I was of the belief that he was going to turn on FTR and align with Christian as a heel. Not that I thought Cope wanted to be a heel, although partially. I didn't think Christian was going to be a babyface. I thought Christian was going to remain a heel. So that's why I was like, oh, Cope's going to turn. Yeah, Cope just coming back as a heel after being taken out on a stretcher and being out for months doesn't make a ton of sense. But, you know.
Sure. Cope should have joined the Patriarchy months ago and became Uncle Cope.
He should have turned heel. He should have, but they didn't. And the FTR Stokely alliance has been good, so it's been fine. Like, it's been a good alliance that has helped FTR reclaim their spot in the tag team pantheon there.
They got momentum coming off of the Outrunners matchup on Collision, so we'll see what happens with them moving forward after All In. But I could see them doing like an impromptu segment on the show, them just hijacking, being like they should have been in the after the tag team title match. Like, we should have been in that matchup. We got screwed over. We want Hurt Syndicate. We want to challenge them right now. And you have the Outrunners come out, and you can do what you said with Cope coming out to back up the Outrunners. I don't think they'll do the match, but you can do like a segment where they fight off Cope. They fight off TR and Stokes.
All right, maybe it's a segment and not a match. That's fine. Kind of like Hater's return last year.
Except this will be on the main show because it's Cope.
Yeah. The only other thing from Dynamite is Blake Christian got no entrance, and he lost, and Tony Khan's a coward. That's all I got.
No, Proto Sheeta, man. This tag team division going to cook if you just put Proto Sheeta and Swerve Spray in the division.
Fletcher's about to win the TNT title. And Takeshita, like Hikaru Shida. Takesha's about to go do the G1. So
this is true. This is true.
They're not going to be a tag team anytime soon.
They're awesome though. Proto Sheeta.
They are.
They were awesome in that matchup. Bandito's been on a heater. Man, them just making Bandito versus Takeshita as Super Card of Honor make Super Card of Honor a must watch. Make Super Card of Honor a must watch.
And Blake Christian should be challenging for the title.
Yeah, you guys did a great interview. I actually caught it on late. I put it on late, and I went back and I watched the whole thing. Watched the whole interview with Blake Christian. Then Joe had to start talking about complimenting Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace pre-tape segment, and I was like, all right, think I've had enough in the weeds today. But no, you guys did excellent. Blake Christian was great in the interview. Got a lot of good stuff. The reveal of him supposedly winning could have been Axiom was a cool reveal there. That was really awesome. But yeah, I enjoyed the interview a lot. But yeah, he didn't get an entrance and he got jumped by Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. The Gates of Agony.
The crowd's going to go crazy on Saturday in the Casino Gauntlet when everybody's down in the ring and all you hear is, I don't like no whips and chains, but you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. Whip your lovin' on me.
I'm vanilla, baby.
I choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. 28 telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby. And the thing about your boy is, I don't like no whips and chains, but you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. Whip your lovin' on me. And then Blake Christian stacks all these dorks in the gauntlet and wins.
That was really well done singing.
Jay Hayes sends a super chat and says, I love the fact that so many matches have implications for the rest of the year. It's been a well-built card. Very well-built card. Yeah. AW's had a great run of shows. They're on a run of great shows. Over 1 million fans. Great number in the demo.
But no, the most of all, they're doing what they could have done, what they could do to kind of turn things around for themselves. Then the ratings is going to be the ratings for a while. That takes a while to kind of translate into anything. And ticket sales for a random episode of Dynamite or Collision, that's going to take time to kind of turn that around and raise it up a bit. But they have caught up to WWE in the perception war by just being consistent, satisfying their fan base, putting on a great run of consistent television and pay-per-views all year long, whereas WWE has been making decisions that have been controversial and been questioned by their fan base. So in the perception war, they're a lot closer than they have been since probably Brawl Out. The last time that they were this close as far as perception-wise in pro wrestling was Brawl Out. That's when the demise and the downfall for them perception-wise started. And then it started to kind of translate into the business going down a bit as well. And I think they've kind of turned that perception around through just doing their race. You don't have to compete with WWE, but you got to run your race and do better than every other non-WWE promotion out there. And they're doing their best to do that.
Louis sent $2, I assume, from my great version of Lovin' On Me.
You were cooking. You were cooking. As the cool kids would say.
All right, SP3. Is it time?
It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite, where we watch C-level WWE show in the C-suite.
I'm never going to give you a bumper, so you have to do that every single week because it rules.
I know that's why you won't make me a bumper, because you like me singing. It's time for the C-suite.
It's a good song. You do it so well. We need the live performance every week, not a bumper.
All right, WWE LFG Legends and Future Greats. It was mostly a wrestling show, which I like some of the reality basis of it. They've been changing the format this year, which I don't really like, but it's okay. I'll live with it because I gotta talk about C-level WWE shows. They did a lot of matches on the show, and they were looking for something different. Shawn Michaels said he wanted everybody that competed this week to have a little different flair to them, a different little something in them. Like you had Serena Linton, who is part of Team Booker, going up against Xena Sterling of Team Bubba, and Xena was doing more European influence action in her matches. She She even did the Nigel McGuinness rebound in the matchup, which was pretty cool. Serena, who had been mostly a babyface in season 1, showed some heel flair, and she credited Bubba Ray for bringing that out of her because he was annoying her during the practice. So that brought out some heel tendencies to her. You also had Elijah Holyfield, who has a new move that he added to his arsenal here in the matchup. You had Shiloh, who put his tooth in, who had a new tooth. He doesn't have the gap anymore. He had his tooth in, but he subsequently would get the tooth out when he bit into a sandwich later on in the show, because he's Shiloh Hill. And yeah, it was all the people that were in last season that were basically in the matches this week. You had P Nasty versus what's her name? I keep forgetting her name. Dumas. Tatiana Dumas. There we go. I was like, it's gonna come to me. Tatiana Dumas. P Nasty's been really good this season. She's been probably the most improved as far as like the female cast so far this season. You had my boy, the West Coast gangster, sexy BJ Ray, who's still over with the fans. The fans be having signs for the West Coast G. My boy is on the up, yo. BJ, I see you. He's gotten better in ring. He's showing more versatility in the ring. My man, sexy BJ Ray, out here in these streets. I see you, BJ. I see you. You had Anthony Luke, who is now wearing gloves. Yeah, that's the big change that he gave to us. He started wearing gloves because he used to play football, and he got inspiration from Booker T because they said he was too much like The Rock. Now he wants to be too much like Booker T. I guess that's the choice.
Yeah.
That was the choice. Yeah. You know. Choices were made. But yeah, it was mostly wrestling. I believe the Team Booker got a point for Serena, and I know Michelle did not get a point, and Team Bubba got a point in this episode, but I'm not sure why, because it's Bubba Ray. But yeah, that was WWE LFG this week. Michelle McCool still doesn't have a point quite yet. She's got to get onto the board. The Undertaker, Team Undertaker still in the lead with 2 points this week. But we'll see how things progress in the LFG leaderboards as the weeks go on here. But then you had some big news before we get into Evolve this week. We got some big news in the Love Island portion of the C-suite. Yes, we got Love Island because love is in the air, because Zena Sterling announced on her Instagram she's going out with Elijah Holyfield. She dipping in the chocolate, y'all. She dipping in the chocolate. We got Love Island LFG. The L in LFG stands for love. Zena Sterling of Team Bubba and Elijah Holyfield of Team Bubba is team intermingling. Let's go. Zena's in the Holyfield family. Let's go. Elijah's gonna learn Ukrainian. Let's go. Oh, I love love. We got love in the air. Oh, they recoupled. We'll see what other couples recouple on the next time on LFG Love Island. And then going over to WWE Evolve, where we're still in the multiverse, y'all. We got multiverse action going on. You want to hear how much multiverse we got going on WWE Evolve? Chantel Monroe, she picked up a win over Mason Holiday and Layla Diggs. They trying to be like, oh, Chantel Monroe, you should be our friend. We're all black girls. And Chantel Monroe's like, no, I'm better than y'all. So I don't like them. I agree, Chantel. You stand on your own 2 feet. You don't have to be friends with everybody just because they're the same skin color. You should be. I feel like I always got to look out for my brothers and sisters. But if you choose not to, that's on you. I agree with you, girl. But she says that she's going after the winner of the main event between Callie Armstrong and Natalya. And she was interrupted by Kylie Ray, who came out and was saying she won the biggest match of her career, the last woman standing matchup against Wendy Chu. So she wants the next opportunity at the WWE Evolve Women's Championship. And then the crossover happened. My good friend, second in my phone book after Rebecca Quinn, is Tyra May Steele, the winner of WWE LFG Season 1 Olympic gold medalist, the real deal, Tyra May Steele. She showed up on Evolve. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, the multiverse. The multiverse is coming. It's going crazy here. Multiversal.
She got sent to Evolve. Jasper Troy's over here in Great American Bash matches. Tyra,
I know.
Just
I did.
winning
I did.
LFG, going straight to Evolve.
I was like, so much for that NXT contract. They got you in the hole. What are we doing? But she stepped up. She stood tall against both of these ladies. Next week it's TMS versus Chantel versus Kylie. Number one contenders matchup, triple threat matchup. Tyra May Steele for the win, as always. And more multiverse action as the attacker was revealed, Jeremy. We've been talking about it for weeks. The attacker. Callie Armstrong, she picked up a win against Natalya. And what was a good matchup? I thought they worked really well with each other, and the counters at the end were really well done. The counter from the Callie connection into the sharpshooter was really well done. And then in the end, it was Callie with the Callie connection, picking up the 1-2-3 over Natalya, embracing her, shaking her hand, giving her a hug. She's turned in babyface. She's officially a baby. She got a good new entrance and everything. Too strong. Callie Armstrong, who's also the Omega. I was like, why is everybody the Omega when we got Kenny Omega? Who is the Omega? It's kind of weird, but you know, she's also the Warlord. Robert Stone just be throwing out a whole bunch of different nicknames for Callie Armstrong. Callie retained the title, and then post-match, the attacker was revealed. And it's LFG's Gintala! Oh my God! Layla Laurel Gintala is the attacker. Oh my God, they're giving her the big push. How are they giving her a bigger push than the winner of LFG? It's crazy out here in the multiverse. Gintala is the attacker. She lays out Callie Armstrong, throws her into the ring post, holds the Evolve Women's Championship in the air, and she says, "It was me. It was me all along, Armstrong. I was the attacker. I'm taking everybody out." Gintala, the attacker. You also had a contract signing with Lindsay Dorado and the Carolina Reaper, Heartbreak Drake, the star of WWE NXT and the star of Evolve. WWE Evolve men's champion Jackson Drake. They had a contract signing for their championship matchup next week, but Drake did not read the fine print, as Lindsay Dorado had the Prime Minister Stevie Turner put into the contract that the Vanity Project, put your V's in the chat, Vanity Project are banned from ringside next week, which is an injustice. It's not fair, and that should have been told to Jackson Drake. Shouldn't be sneaked into any contract. He didn't even have time to give it to his lawyer. He didn't have time to give it to his lawyer to get it adjusted.
He's got to read.
Jackson Drake next week against Lindsay Dorado. Vanity Project banned from ringside. If Vanity Project interferes, it's automatic DQ, and Lindsay's the new champion. Injustice. And Keanu Carver went up against Timothy Thatcher. He got disqualified when he just beat the crap out of Timothy Thatcher, just started slamming his head into the apron. Timothy Thatcher was sent to the hospital, and Sean Legacy said he's going to get revenge on Keanu Carver, who's trying to still destroy the WWE ID program. And that was the C-Suite. The C-Suite. It was time for the C-Suite. The C-Suite. We run out of time for the C-Suite. The C-Suite, where we watch WWE C-level shows in the C-Suite. Where's George BBW Bush now? Come on.
Jackson Drake's got to learn how to read. That's my only takeaway.
Might be right.
All right, SP3. Let's get out of here. Let everyone know where they can find you at and what you got.
They can find me In 5 minutes, I'll be live with Jimmy Macaram over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, AE Ramble, breaking down last night's AEW Dynamite, the go-home show ahead of AEW All in Texas. And yes, we will be getting final predictions from Jimmy Macaram on who he thinks is going to win all the top matches at All in Texas. So join us for that. It's All in week. We got a full lineup slate. Tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going live with our AEW All in Texas preview with Maggie of Fightful Overbooked, as well as Jay News. We got Saturday at full slate, 3 shows for y'all to enjoy with the flagship podcast, the whole gang, Top Guy JJ, True Jaw Josh, Miss Chrissy Love will all be there to discuss this week in wrestling and final predictions for all the big shows. And we got a watch party for All in Texas. Then we'll have a break. And then we'll have a watch party for Saturday night's main event. So full slate Sunday. We got reviews for All in Texas, watch party for Evolution. And next Monday, or this coming Monday, we got Evolution and Saturday night's main event review with Amanda Savage of Wrestle Talk and bodyslam.net. So I'm a busy, busy man.
SP3 is always busy, and I added more to his plate last night / this morning. Scheduled to be joined by Hammerstone. It'll be a pre-taped interview, probably air tomorrow on In the Weeds. We'll probably run that tomorrow. So Hammerstone is going to be joining me and SP3 a little later on this afternoon. Again, that'll air tomorrow on In the Weeds. We'll talk to him about MLW, Summer of the Beast, reunion with MJF backstage at MLW Summer of the Beast. Definitely get into all of that. We'll ask him if he's, going to show up in the Casino Gauntlet. Try to get some news out of him. See if he'll give us any spoilers or anything like that. So Hammerstone's scheduled to join me in SP3 a little bit later on. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow, myself and Joel Pearl. I'll be back later on this evening, myself and Steven Jensen on the Spotlight. We got an interview with Frat House airing on the Spotlight tonight, so everybody can look forward to that. Tons of interviews. Go check out the interview with Blake Christian that we did yesterday. Everybody enjoy the wrestling tonight, this weekend, or don't. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, just be safe out there. Talk to everyone later on tonight and then tomorrow. Bye, everybody.